You're this perp back with another video, and man, I wonder how many people are going to hate this episode because I fucking loved this episode. This series just keeps getting better and better. But before I get into this review, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 800 subs by the end of the year. Also follow me on Twitter at perpminded. Yeah, man, we have a lot to talk about, and I'm gonna try to get through it as quick as possible. So the episode starts off with, a lot of Dr. Manhattan symbolism, like him being on Earth. People are just praising him, and we get a lot more backstory on Angela, and most of this episode takes place in Vietnam, which is really interesting. And I wasn't expecting to get this side of Angela and her backstory and how she became a cop, how she got her name Sister Night. And it's very interesting how she came upon the name Sister Night, how she just got influenced by a movie she watched. And we also see what happened to her parents and how they died. Very interesting stuff that they go through. Then we catch up with Angela in the present time, and she's in the Truth Industries, whatever the hell you want to call this building. And Lady Truth pretty much is trying to help her recover from taking all this nostalgia, and she wasn't supposed to take everything all at once. And then we also get Cal looking for Angela, but I will save Cal for later, because what they do with his character in this episode is so satisfying to me. We catch up with Lori, and she's going to Mrs. Crawford's house to let her know, like, I think I know who killed your husband, and I think your husband was a white supremacist. He was kind of involved with the wrong people, and that gets her into some kind of trouble. She falls through a trap door, and things are starting to get crazy. As we go back to Angela, she is pretty much getting questioned by the little Lady Truth, and I'll get to her very shortly in this. And they kind of have this back and forth, and she mentions, like, why are you lying to your kids about you being an officer? And they just start having this back and forth about memories, and Angela asks her about her memories and what she's seen. Very interesting stuff, but like I said, I will get back to that shortly. But I'm liking how everything is starting to come together in this story, just how everything's starting to connect. So we catch up with Adrian Vike, Ozymandias, and how he's being put on trial for trying to escape. But, his story is still a mystery, but I feel like his story is starting to come together, and he's going to be kind of the final piece to put everything together for the story that they're trying to tell. So then Lady True and Angela sit down, and they have a conversation, and she starts bringing up Cal, and Angela's like, you know nothing about Cal, and she seems to know a lot more than she does. And also, we get the revelation that the little girl is actually her mother, which blows my mind. And we don't know yet who the father is, but that's going to be an interesting revelation going forward. We catch up with Lori, and she's at the 7th Cavalry hideout, and she finds out what the 7th Cavalry is pretty much planning. So, Senator Kane's whole plan is to become Dr. Manhattan, and I'll explain that in a little bit, but I find that very fascinating. I know a lot of people are going to probably be pissed about this revelation, this plan of the 7th Cavalry, but I'll get to that very shortly. Then we get, some interesting scenes of Angela as she was younger, how she met her grandmother, and just how everybody's just connected. And this was so fascinating. I love the flashbacks that they did in this episode. I thought they were very telling and starting to just bring everything together. I'm loving it. So then Angela tries to escape. She finds out, what she's attached to, because she's attached to this little machine or whatever. But then she comes across this glowing globe. And this glowing globe is attached to those Dr. Manhattan phone booths. And that's ran by Lady True. She made those all across the world for people to kind of get their griefs out and, kind of vent. And then this is where we get some really big truth bombs and just what's really going on here. That pretty much the 7th Cavalry's plan is to kill Dr. Manhattan so they could become Dr. Manhattan. And Lady Truth keeps nudging at this idea that you never asked me who he was, and they don't specifically tell her who, but this causes Angela to kind of just get away from that place and rush home to check on Cal and make sure everybody's all right at her home. They try to stop her, but it doesn't end up working. She gets home, has a hammer in her head, and her and Cal are having this back and forth. And she's pretty much telling Cal, like, none of this is real. None of that car accident or anything, you losing your memory, was real. Cracks him over the head with the hammer, and all you see is this blue glow. And man, here comes Dr. Manhattan. This is a crazy episode. Who would have thought that Cal was going to be Dr. Manhattan this whole time? I know there's some people that I've seen reviews on that made that prediction that Cal was Dr. Manhattan this whole time, because Lady True pretty much told Angela, like, Dr. Manhattan's not on Earth. I mean, not on Mars. He's on Earth trying to be human. And I find this so fascinating. Everything's starting to come together. Things just starting to really make sense here, and I'm loving the story that they're trying to tell. But I know there's going to be a lot of haters that don't like this show, and they're going to bitch and whine, complain, saying this is not my Watchmen, blah blah blah. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. This was a really good episode. This show is a very amazing show. The way that they're putting things together, and I'm hoping that they do have a season 2 coming, because I would like them to explore this world. Or if this is just gonna be a one-off, I'm fine with it. They're gonna wrap things up with 2 more episodes. But what do you guys think in the comments below about this episode? I thought this was phenomenal. But until next time, I'm out. Peace.